All right, we got the C300 in the shop today. Just a general inspection. It was just in a small, I think, accident. I never really saw it before, but this is it afterwards. So I'm gonna go over everything. I wanted to start it inside the car because I want to show you these motor mounts. It's 168,000 miles, and I think it has the original motor mounts. So this is what it looks like if they make it this long. I don't know if you could hear the difference that I just picked up. You can see this headrest jiggling. It was rattling pretty good a while ago, but I guess it's warmed up a little bit. I just took it on a test drive, but you can hear the difference between here and but yeah, that's pretty aggressive. Also, the wiper blades are streaking pretty bad, and this seat belt, it's this is what's left of it. So I'll put one of those out just to see what that comes out to be. As far as everything else on the inside, mechanically speaking, looks fine. I'm gonna check the sunroof to make sure it works because those crack out a lot. So I'm gonna carefully open that and see if it's broken. A lot of these buttons are peeling, as you can see. But I'm gonna assume the owner knows that. I usually don't focus on like cosmetic stuff a whole lot just because you can simply see that. Like you clearly know if these buttons are worn out or not, or if there's a dent in your fender or something like that. I just focus on more of the mechanical things or stuff like this just to provide quotes for things like that. But I'm not gonna quote out steering wheel buttons unless I'm specifically asked to see what price those are. But anyways, now to move to the outside. Okay, now to start with the mechanical bit. I just got the engine cover off. First thing I noticed, these hood struts are completely shot. All the gas charge leaked out of those, hence the vice grip on the rod. It doesn't matter if I scratch it or whatever because these are trash anyways, and they will hopefully be getting replaced. So this coolant reservoir, I guess, was one of the things that was replaced here. The little sticker here is missing. There's supposed to be a little sticker there that says whatever it is it says. I think a hot warning message on it. But let's see, this oil cap is either not, oh, it wasn't on all the way. It looks like it was just set down on there. Oh, well, not quite. I guess it was kind of halfway turned. But let's see, this clip is supposed to be clipped in onto that, like that. Everything else looks to be routed correctly. All this wiring's hooked in right. Yep. Let's see. Some kind of oil in there. The fluid level looks a bit low. I don't know what kind of fluid's in here. Let's see. This, I believe, is supposed to be pink coolant. I don't know what brand or type that is. It looks a little glittery in there. Yeah, see? I don't know what that's about, but it's not, I don't know about the color, but typically it is pink. Either the Mercedes-Benz stuff or Xerox G40, I think it is. Well, I'm gonna have to get some water and clean that up properly here in just a minute, but cap goes right there. That's just sideways. I wonder if this is a factory reservoir. But anyways, see, the dipstick handle's broken. No big deal. We got a little fluid sitting down on the top of the intake manifold there, to that brown yellowish stuff. That's probably residual from something. It probably honestly just needs a good wash and engine bay clean. And to start with a fresh slate, since this car's been through so much and on the middle of recovery. Let's see, the drive belt looked good. The tensioner looks good. AC compressor spins smoothly. See the radiator fan. Let me feel that. That fan bearing feels good. Let's see. This is supposed to be little further forward. There. Let me check the engine computer here for any engine oil. Make sure there's no oil in that. There does seem to be some. Let's see, this wiring harness isn't clipped into that little bracket there. That's simple. At least this thing's here. So it's just a zip tie that goes through here where my fingernail is poking and wraps around this harness. So I replaced that. That's easy to do. So let's see if I can get a good focus on this. You might be able to see how wet this connector is. If not, here, look at my thumb. And then whenever I rub it across there, now it's oily. And then this is the engine computer connector. And you can see how there's oil inside of it. A lot of those electrical pins too have oil on them. All that amber looking stuff, that is engine oil. And on this engine, it's basically the PCV system of this car, positive crankcase ventilation. And it has a vent built onto the side of the engine block that vents out like the vapors from inside the engine. And there's a connector that controls a valve that connects that thing. That connector leaks oil internally into the wires. And then from there, it pushes it all throughout the harness. So they had a warranty extension on the ventilation system itself. So that might be covered, but last I checked, the dealership doesn't cover replacing the engine wiring harness that's now filled with oil because of subsequential damage, and they like to not cover that for whatever reason, if they deem it okay or whatever. But to fix this properly, it would need that crankcase ventilation system with that new valve and a new engine wiring harness. And then to clean out anything else you find it in, because I'm sure this is going to be in things like fuel injectors, maybe oxygen sensors, but regardless, it'll need a harness, that vent valve, and then to clean out the oil from anything else I find it in. So moving around to the front here, this isn't clipped in just right. It's supposed to clip on here. It's not really snapping together very smoothly. This looks fine, but this seems to be, I don't know if I'd say bent, but definitely distorted. And this clip too isn't clipped in right. I noticed that came out really easy. It does just snap in and out, but it snaps on the bottom. Just the top of this is so distorted that I can't get it to clip on. It's supposed to be about like that, but that's not happening. You probably just need a new one of these plastic covers that's fresh and not as distorted as that is. And this clip too should go down in its hole. Let me get some pliers to do that one. It's pretty stiff. That one's pretty stiff. Like that. Okay, moving on. Let me check. Let's see, this cover isn't. That's supposed to be slid shut. That seems. Something's wrong with this. It's supposed to slide relatively freely. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I got that. That was just clipped into the wrong spot, so it's supposed to cover there like that. And this cap is probably more like bent like that than it's supposed to be. Because it's supposed to flap down like this, but it's supposed to be longer to the point to where these two tabs are what's supposed to lock it in. Of course, it's made into this whole panel, so it needed another one of these panels to get that fixed, but not super important. It'll be loose like that. Okay, moving to this side of the engine, I was gonna check this coolant reservoir to see what kind of coolant's in that, but I noticed this oxygen sensor isn't quite clipped in right. It's this top little section of metal there is supposed to be, there's a rib made onto the sensor, like the connector body. It's supposed to be right, let me show you. It's supposed to be like this. Yep, like that, clipped in. Okay, now for the secondary coolant, that cools the turbocharger. See what's in there. See, yeah, it used to be pink, so it must be supposed to be pink. And that's what's in there too, just really low. So let me top that off. And I don't know what got put in that guy, but I'm gonna assume it's the right stuff. I mean, they know what they're doing, I guess. But I will look over price for that little sticker just to get that back on there so that it's all properly done. As far as everything else back here on this side of the engine, don't really see anything. Most of the leaks you can see like from the bottom of the engine. And then if it is coming from the top, I'll investigate further from there. There's a good bit of like residual oil here on the front. I was thinking maybe because you got the oil filter here too. This is the oil filter cap. It could have leaked on some stuff, but you have this too up top, like all this caked on grime, which seems to have been coming from these. And these are the actuators that actuate the adjustable camshafts. And they have O-rings on them that seal them to this timing cover. And those O-rings leak a lot, so you might get some stuff that looks like that. It's hard to tell if it's just that that's leaking or if this timing cover's leaking. It's sealed together with this black sealant you can see is oozing out the top here. Which is what it's supposed to do. Like you're supposed to be able to see like some sealant oozing out of the top there. But that's the sealant that leaks. As far as everything else, I'd probably say that whatever fluid that is just residual from a previous repair. Or even if it's oil, someone topped off the oil and spilled a good bit. That might be what all this oil is from the top of the engine. I would like to degrease the engine and then pressure wash it all off and clean everything to sort of start from a clean slate with this thing. That motor mount looks pretty beat up. Oh yeah, it's getting mounts, yeah. So that's, it probably is original mounts on this car. I was talking about that earlier in the car. Let me see if I can get a focus on that, but yeah, this motor mount is totally torn up. You're probably not gonna be able to know what to compare that with. Okay, here, I actually have the new one. So this is the old one, right? Get a good look at that. Where it looks sort of, where that little piece of a leaf is or whatever that is there. In the midst of all this other like shredded rubber and everything. Okay, so that's the old one with 160,000 miles on it, I can only assume. And this is a new one. So this would go in the car exactly like this, just like this, but just down in there. And you can see this is what I was aiming at with the camera, was this area. So that's what it's supposed to look like. Just for a reference of how bad those motor mounts are. So apart from that, well, this clip isn't in just right. So this whole panel is a bit loose. Let me see how this is supposed to go. This headlight seems to be cracked, and I guess it was epoxied back together or tried to be epoxied back together. Don't see any moisture in it. I think it works, so. Huh. Anyways, okay, there we go. It's supposed to be like that. So now this is nice and tight. Can't pull it up or nothing. Brake fluid, reservoir cap doors open. Get that shut. Yeah, that's everything up here. I still have to piece the service records together on this to see if it's overdue for anything like coolant change or transmission service or anything like that. I think that might be one of the things we're doing. I'll have to go back and relook, but I know we're doing at least the motor and transmission mounts. That's already like pre-sold. And I think the transmission mount was the other thing. This brake booster hose is pushed back through the hole. It's supposed to be even with this, a bit further up. Not that it really matters. But yeah, that's it up here. Let me get the lift arm set and lift it up and see if there's anything underneath it. Okay, so two things back here. This gas cap. Let me put it on right side up. Not that that matters, it just bothers me, like when oil caps are upside down. This little tether strap here You know what? It's actually intact. That looks perfectly fine, actually. But anyways, it's supposed to be snapped in here. These always break though. That's perfectly intact. It's just supposed to be like that. Clipped in there so your gas cap can't fly away. And it has a little holder here too for it when it refill up. But no, that's perfectly fine. Anyways, other than that, you're supposed to have a sticker here that shows the tire pressure values, and it's not there. So when it's not there, I just go off the tire pressure sticker in the door, which is the maximum possible pressure. You're typically not supposed to use, but it'll be this one. So it's gonna be, looks like 39 in the front, 45 in the rear. But that's assuming you have, how many is the seat? 4. That's assuming you have 4 passengers, the maximum capacity luggage, full tank of gas, full everything. Then it would be these pressures. But typically, it would be the pressures listed on the sticker that's normally inside of the gas cab door. But that sticker's not there. So I'll see how much that thing is. I think it's like a $40 sticker or something like that, of course, as it would be. But for now, the only thing I have to go off of is the maximum pressures. So I guess I'll set it to that and then recalibrate the tire pressure sensors based on those. Okay, I just got it up in the air and got the tire pressure set. Notice these vents are missing from here. But I do think this is a retrofitted bumper, if I'm not mistaken. It's from like the facelifted C classes, and this is a pre-facelift or vice versa, something like that. Anyways, these vents are missing. Little vent guards from here. Oh, this is one of the sensors. That's probably why the proximity sensor was going off on me all funny whenever I was pulling in. It's supposed to be those guys. I wonder what this one is doing hanging out here. It probably clips into the vent that's supposed to be here. This covers all this. But anyways, I was gonna take off all these under shields to check out what everything's looking like. Yeah, you can see the fender liners don't exactly match up. This isn't a Mercedes clip either, so they don't exactly match up to the bumper here. But everything else seems to be pretty good. And this is put on in the wrong order. The middle undershield is always the last one. So you see the front one here goes over the middle. That's not right. And then the middle one goes over the rear one. That part is right. We're also missing 2 screws here. Bit cracked. That screw's there, there. And then that one's missing. That's the only thing I see, really. The front one's supposed to be one there, but that bracket's probably missing. But anyways, let me get these off now and see what's going on underneath here. All right, just got all those out, so let's check this out. Let me start with the suspension first and just get that out the way. Check out these ball joints and bushings. Make sure none of these guys are torn, which they're not. All 3 of those look good. The upper ball joint looks pretty good. Oh, this shock is busted. Here, you can see all the oil leaking out of it up there. It's even wet there below that lower spring seat, and that rubber's swollen up and torn. Yeah, definitely need front shocks. This bushing's torn out. You can see here. This lower section and upper section here is supposed to be connected. Right here, where sort of my fingernail would be pressing into, that's where the bushing's torn. That's completely separated. On this side, it's beginning to. It's just about there. You can see the stress marks on it here, where it's tearing. And this side is completely separated. But regardless, you would always do suspension components in pairs, especially wearable items. And I'm pretty sure these bushings are serviceable. So you can simply take this control arm out and just replace those bushings and then readjust the alignment. See, these ball joints all look good though. Strut bushing, that's okay. This one's okay. And that strut's also pretty wet on the top there, above the spring seat. That outer ball joint that outer ball joint boot looks good. Okay, one thing I wanted to add that I noticed after the fact when I was checking these upper control arm ball joints, the upper control arm bushings are torn. If you can see back there, that shiny black spot, that's where the rubber's ripped, and this control arm is slid backwards, like to the right. Let me show you on the other one. So, but the ball joints look good. That's good, I guess. But you can see on this one's even worse, how far like the control arm itself is pressed back, like to the left of that slot that the control arm fits in. And this shiny part of the rubber there is where the bushing has internally torn apart. And I don't think you can get these bushings separate, but I'll check. But it'll most likely need upper control arms. I can't get a good line of sight on this inside brake pad. I'll have to look at that with a little mirror on the inside of this caliper in a minute. Tires are brand new. The outside pad, it's about half life. This tire is also brand new. This outside pad, yeah, also probably 40 to 50% life. So a decent amount of time left on those. See, the condenser looks good. I don't see any leaks there. Transmission cooler, no leaks there. Yeah. Nope, don't see any coolant issues at all. Okay, these are the brackets that the front undershield wasn't clipped into. So I wonder if this is a different design probably than the one that goes on it, because the one that goes on it fits the bumper, which is nice, so it completely seals the underbody of the car. But then of course these brackets don't really match up to it, but nice to see those clips are at least there. It's better to have mismatched clips than no clips, you know. So that's good to see that those are at least there, and this is all held solid, so that's good. Yeah, that screw there that holds the bumper to the fender, that's not the factory Mercedes screw, but at least there's a screw there. This isn't pushed in behind the fender like it's supposed to be, like that. It's missing 2 fender liner screws there. This is clearly broken, so there can't be a clip there. I mean, clip, not screw. It's supposed to be a clip there as well. Here on this side, same thing. This is supposed to be pushed in like that. And then you're supposed to have 2 clips here and here that hold it to this rocker panel that are missing. But even if I had them, this doesn't fit just right. You can see the hole it's supposed to go in, and then this hole don't really line up too well. Neither does this rocker panel. It's supposed to be a good bit over there. Like that. Now those holes line up. So that one's not there at all either. Huh. So it's missing 2 of the screws that go up into this rocker panel, and then 2 clips on each side. But let's see, apart from that, everything else looks good. Going on the front of the engine. There is a decent bit of oil I see here, coming from somewhere. Oh, you know what? It looks like to be coming from, let me make sure it's not anywhere higher than that. But that's coming from that same crankcase ventilation system that is leaking oil into the wiring harness. Now that wiring harness valve is up here attached to that hose, but the actual vent system that plugs into the side of the engine block is this plastic section there that goes underneath that left motor mount with this green fluid on it, whatever that is, probably that coolant stuff. Speaking of green coolant stuff, where's the green coolant stuff coming from? That looks like it. Oh, okay, so then that housing's leaking. That's what that's coming out of. That's the thermostat housing on this engine, I think. I'm not as familiar off the top of my head with the these engines as I am the V8 versions of, I say versions of, you know, V8s of the same generation. V6s, that is the, if I'm not mistaken, of course I'll look it up, but that's where the thermostat is housed. But it'd be that whole assembly, no matter what, it would need that whole assembly to fix that coolant leak. And then this oil, like I said, I'd like to clean the engine off first to have a clean slate with this thing going forward. But regardless, it would need the engine wiring harness, and it would need, you know, and the engine wiring harness with that crankcase ventilation system would come with that new block there that looks like to be leaking. But regardless, I would change those two. If we just address the problems that are obvious right now and cleaned off the engine, it's not like there's going to be anything missed or any overlap or anything like that. Like, there's no real labor overlap with doing all the stuff I see now and then cleaning it all off, and then like a year from now, for example, like whenever the next service is due, going back and inspecting everything again, and if you can see that something's clearly leaking, then address it at that time. But now, just to look at the other side, everything looks fine over here. We've got a bit of oil there, but I can't tell if it's coming from up high. It looks like it's pretty concentrated though on this side of the engine. You got the oil cooler here, so that very well could be where that's coming from. Let me look at the back of the engine a bit. There it is. So the turbocharger's on this side, and it's oiled with, you know, engine oil. So it has oil flowing through it. So it could be dripping down, or it could be this oil cooler. Now, I don't see anything from this oil line. So right now, I'd say that this oil is from this oil cooler. Once I set it back down, I still have to get that mirror out to check the inside brake pads. Once I have that little mirror out, the little inspection mirror, I'll also look to make sure and confirm where this oil is coming from. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to deem it to be this oil cooler. But of course, I'll confirm that for 100% before I do it. Now, just working back, checking out the bushing on this side. See, the bushing on this side didn't look so bad. This one, the spring arm, but then this thrust arm, these bushings are totally torn. And this thrust arm isn't as bad, but then the spring arm is totally torn. If I can get a good focus on this tear here, it's torn apart there. Without having a comparison one, you won't be able to see, but you can see that tear is pretty deep, and it's completely separated from this bushing housing. I'm not sure if these are serviceable or not on the spring control arm, but if they are, of course, it just needs a bushing, because the rest of it's good. This ball joint boot is good, so it just needs this bushing. But if you can't get it separate, then it'll need this whole control arm. So yeah, those on each side. So all 4 of your front suspension bushings. Oh yeah, those motor mounts are totally collapsed. You can see that motor mount, the arm here. This is the motor mount, and this is the motor mount bracket that attaches to the engine block, and it's totally collapsed, like they're touching each other. Yeah, so it'll be really nice to get those changed out. As far as everything on the back of the engine, don't see anything else back here. The vacuum pump isn't leaking, which is a common thing on these. Transmission looks good. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, that all looks good. I hope that's not the original crush washer, but it kind of looks like it. Usually you can see a copper crush washer on these, but they paint them black whenever they paint the whole pans. So the outside rim of the original factory crush washer is black, just like that. That looks like the original crush washer. But that would be really scary because this has 160 something thousand miles on it, so ain't no way. But that literally looks like factory. But it's still running, still shifting. But that's frightening. Now I know this motor mount is going to be completely collapsed. Yeah, it is. I can feel it. That's my finger there. This is the transmission mount that holds the transmission up. It works together with the 2 engine mounts in the front. That's completely collapsed. which we got one of those. A new one of those is going in it. This rubber disc here looks good. It connects the drive shaft to the transmission. That looks good. Don't hear any exhaust rattles from any of this stuff. And then this is the rear rubber disc. Oh, that one's cracking out pretty good. That's a pretty deep crack here. Right there. It's even cracking on the outside there. On the back side, yeah, you've got that deep crack. This one cracking apart, that cracking apart. Yeah, definitely want to change that with a new one. It's a high density rubber, probably about the same consistency as a tire, but they do wear like that and they can like begin to break apart like this. So checking out the back of the suspension. Oh, that axle. What the heck is all this? I think that axle boot's okay. Let me get all this cut off and reanalyze. Okay, just got all that out. And yeah, this outer axle boot looks good. No issues at all. Even when wrapping up that entire, whatever that is. This outer axle boot looks good. Inner boots look good. This isn't clipped in, right? There we go. Yeah. That rear shock looks okay. Let's see, all the other suspension bushings. These all look good, no concerns at all. Everything feels tight. These brakes too, I can't see the inside pad really good from here, so I have to look at those with a little mirror. Brakes, I mean the tires look good. See this outside brake pad. It's a little low, like 30% life. Nothing super concerning. Tires. And brakes on the outside of this one. Oh, that one's pretty low. That's probably worth replacing at that point. I'm curious to see what the inside, oh no, that inside pad. I can already see from here. I can't see like sight on. What I'm saying, like with a mirror, you can look straight on the brake pad, like from this way, because I can angle the mirror just right and see like the thickness of it. But from the outside looking into it, I can see the distance between like the brake pad backing plate and the rotor. So I can like roughly guess how thick the pad is. I can see this one is low, like too low. Let me see which side the sensor's on. It's on this side. That sensor's on. Yeah, this side. It should be going off any time. Oh, you know what? It is on. I forgot about it. In the instrument cluster, it does currently have a brake warning message on. That's what that's for. Yeah, so it definitely needs rear brakes. I'll have to check the fronts. I'm still picking out pieces of this fiber everywhere. All right, let me check the rest of the bushings on this back suspension here. Both of these are really loose, which I don't really like. All the clips are there though. They're staying in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, these bushings look good. Don't see anything wrong here. Inner bushings, outer bushings. All the control arms. Yep, they all look good. That's all fine. Mufflers are solid, not rattling or anything. These aren't factory screws on the little exhaust tips, but they're in, so that's good. That one's in and not tight, but it's not the right screw. I'm sure it's not the right thread. Neither is that one. But anyways, it's all there. Yeah. You know, it all looks good back here. All the suspension looks fine back here, just as a disc. Needs to be changed. Missing a screw here. That screw's broken out. I mean, the screw's there, but this undershield panel is broken. That one's there. It sucks to replace this whole thing just for that, but that's the only fix for it. That clip's missing too from it. in that one. A little hole here where you're supposed to have a screw. Oh, this is missing the whole thing there. This heat shield's bent up. Let's see. I'm gonna have to do this with both hands, but oh, there it is. There. It's supposed to be about like that. About. See, all the screws are here on this one. Just kidding. That one's missing. It's supposed to have a little plastic nut on that, like. Where's an example? Why is there none? Like this. Okay, but yeah, this side too is missing. It's not missing, it's there. It was just missing the clip. I mean, not the clip, the screw. So you're supposed to have a little like nut body thing. It's not really a nut. It's like a piece of stamped sheet metal that has like a singular thread on it that the screw screws into. That's the screw for the undershields I'm talking about. And wow, you can really see how much oil is in this. This is the rear undershield, and it's coming from this. I was gonna note too, this is the drain plug for the engine oil, and I don't know what this washer is on it, but it's supposed to be a copper crush washer, not whatever this is. And clearly it's not sealing because it's leaking out. But there's not one here at all. There's just a hole in the bottom of the frame. You can get those separate, no big deal, but that's what the screw is supposed to be for the rear undershield. So yeah, there's a couple of things worth addressing under here and on top to get it all back to, like, back up to par where it should be coming out from this accident. But I'll piece all this together, get prices for everything, and then go piece the service records together and see what else it's behind on, and put all that together and see what it would be to get everything all situated just perfectly. Nothing catastrophic though, just probably the front shocks are pretty bad. You'll probably feel those, and these torn bushings. The fact that this bushing is completely separated, you'll probably feel that. But other than that, nothing's terrible. It's just a bunch of worn out stuff, which you can expect from a 160,000 mile car. But anyways, yeah, I'll get all that together, get it sent to them, and see what we're gonna do.